huge part of the renewable energy. It should triple from now to 2035. Currently, 19% of the electricity will move up to 32%. Energy mix in the renewable energy, I talk about nuclear, I talk about renewables, I talk about energy efficiency, I talk about gas, coal. But usually, for the energy security sake, the best way is to have everything. Diversified sources increase the energy security. If you have problem with gas, then you can use nuclear. If nuclear is in trouble, you have to have gas and coal. So, to have diversified sources is the best way for the energy security. This chart shows the self-sufficiency rate of energy for different countries. The Japan is very, very low because we don't have any fossil fuel sources. And renewable energy is still less utilized, so we need to use nuclear. The same in Korea. In Europe, some countries have potential for renewable energy or coal, fossil fuel, and they have different portfolio. Germany is very well diversified, but on the other hand, Italy does not have any nuclear, so half renewable, half fossil fuel. France is heavily dependent on nuclear, but as a whole, in the bottom part, from the second from the bottom, you see the combined European Union of the 27 countries. Their portfolio is very well diversified as a group. So this means very important lesson for Japan. As one country, we will suffer without nuclear. But as a group, if we connect it to the other countries, that gives a way to use less nuclear, but also with more gas, with renewables, because it has a larger market, and secure our, let's say, energy supply. So, but important message is, yes, we have to make first the clear domestic grid connection, and then connect to Korea, connect to Russia, or even Japan Sea grid make good sense. Because Europe, yes, even Germany is planning to build the pan-Mediterranean grid concept and connecting to North Africa, because North Africa is reaching solar power, wind, etc. So this kind of geopolitical movement makes Europe is a very secure place for energy source. Japan, in comparison to that, we are not yet ready domestically. So preparing for the future, this kind of regional engagement will be very key for our country, for my country. Sustainability for 50 scenario is what IEA has prescribed to achieve 50% reduction of the CO2 emission. Unfortunately, the Copenhagen Accord or Cancun decision of the UNFCCC makes it almost, a non-action there makes it almost impossible to achieve 450 scenario, which is the bottom line. Yes, as Komiyama Sensei said, the efficiency is very important to make it happen. 50% should come further. Renewables, we need biofuels, nuclear, and also CCS, carbon capturing and storage, to put the coal power plant, the equipment to take CO2 carbon dioxide and recapture it and put it under the ground for storage. This carbon capturing and storage technology is must to really achieve this CO2 emission. But it's, yes, the many pilot plants coming, but not yet readily available, because we need to have the carbon price to make this happen. this 450 scenario requires more than $100 per ton of the CO2 price. And what we are talking about, $10, $20 now. We need more than $100 per ton of that CO2 to make this happen. Lower nuclear scenario increases CO2 emission. High gas scenario reduce, but just a little. So we are almost at the line of new policy scenarios. So how much effort we need to go to reduce 13 or 14 gigaton of the CO2 is really challenging. We need 16 trillion US dollars of investment. Huge investment opportunity for efficiency, renewables, nuclear, CCS, to make this sustainable scenario possible. But for the developing economies, another sustainability issue is their poverty. Still, billions of people are without access to electricity. It's in sub-Saharan Africa and also India. So for these countries to provide sustainable energy but with affordable prices is a real challenge. The local, more decentralized system of electricity is necessary because building grid interconnection is really expensive. So IEA has been prescribing what is the way, how much investment necessary to make this energy poverty away. Well, implication for Japan and other countries, especially for Japan, this is a great opportunity to change our policy in the energy market because we have to use more renewable energy sources in the future. The grid line be much more integrated and interconnected within the country and also further into the other country like Korea or Russia. We need technologies to make it happen. And safe nuclear is certainly very important because without preparation of connecting grid inside and outside of the country, we still need to use nuclear. So the lesson we may learn, still we are agonizing to stabilize the Fukushima situation, but the lesson which we are going to learn from this, we have to share with everybody in the world because without or whatever we do in Japan, China, India, Russia, Korea, East Europe, Middle East, they are using nuclear power anyway. And if they are using the nuclear power by accident, we may suffer also. So to make these countries' operation much safer, that is where Japan should contribute. And that is what the global community wants us to do. So yes, it is a very political and emotional moment to make right decisions. But I think, and to put this global viewpoint of energy security, sustainability, or cost comparison, and policy issues is the key element which Japan should take up and discuss with all players and with our people for the future. And I wish, as ex-executive director of the IAEA, I'm very much delighted in this opportunity to contribute these different points into the discussion here in Japan. And thank you very much for inviting me today.